What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weir, and today we are ranking from worst to best all of the movies that I saw in January of 2023. This is a brand new video for my channel, something I'm trying for the first time, and if you like this, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button so that you can get more content from me in the future. But like I said, we're ranking all of the brand new movies that I saw this month, and I saw 8 of them, and I did reviews for all of them, so you can actually go check all of those reviews out on my channel. So yeah, January, worst to best. Let's do the ranking. Coming in at number 8, guys, we have Skinamarink. Now, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody on my channel because this was like my worst movie theater experience, not only this month, but in a long time. I just didn't appreciate anything about this experimental horror film, and I only personally made it through about 40 minutes before I had to leave out of sheer boredom. And I have people come to my channel telling me that I can't talk about the movie because I didn't finish it, but keep in mind, this is my channel, and I'll talk about whatever I goddamn well please. But no, it is funny because a lot of people have come to that video and talked about how if I had stayed, I would have seen the art and I would have really appreciated the horror. And I've had other people about the same amount come to my channel and be like, oh man, you got out while the getting was good because this movie was a boring dumpster fire. And all that to say, I don't wish anything ill on this director. I hope he goes on and makes some incredible work. But this movie did not work for me, and it was my worst experience in January and hopefully all year. So it's number 8 on this list. At number 7, guys, we have the Netflix released movie, You People. Now, this movie stars Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, and I appreciated their chemistry within this movie, but I didn't really like anything else about this movie. It was another Netflix movie that's sort of one and done, but the reason for that was that I felt like every time they could have gone the distance with the comedy, they sort of pulled their punches and they pumped the brakes. They were like, we don't want to offend anybody. And then when you have a movie about race and religion, you kind of need to throw those punches, and I felt like they didn't. So it made number 7 on the list. At number 6, we have another Netflix released movie, and that is The Pale Blue Eye. Now, to be clear, I didn't hate this movie, and I really enjoyed Christian Bale's performance, but I didn't like the guy who played Edgar Allan Poe. And while the story itself was good, it's not a movie I think I'll ever revisit ever again. This was a very slow-paced movie, and in the end, you do get a payoff, but is it worth saying, oh my god, I really enjoyed this, I gotta get my friends together, we gotta watch this? No, it's not. It's probably never a movie I'll recommend to people. It's just another Netflix movie. At number 5, guys, we have the social media sleuthing movie Missing. And by social media, I mean that you only see this movie through social media. So you see it on people's computer screens, you see this movie on people's phones, you see this movie just through Instagram posts and Snapchat filters. My point is, that's how you see this movie. And as much as I liked the story of this movie, I can't get past the fact that they made you view the movie that way, and it was just sort of headache-inducing, so that's why it's number 5. At number 4, guys, we have the action movie starring Gerard Butler, Plane. This is a movie about an airplane pilot who crashes into the jungle and then has to try to protect all of his passengers from the rebels in the jungle. Now, is this a movie that will end up on my top action movies of the year list? Probably not. There's movies like Mission Impossible coming out and John Wick Chapter 4. I think those are going to be great, and this movie wasn't going to be that level, but it was what it needed to be. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed Gerard Butler in this movie. I enjoyed Mike Colter in this movie. I think overall this was a fun action movie, and there were some really intense scenes of action that worked for me. At number 3, guys, we have the Blumhouse released horror movie Megan. Megan is a killer robot doll, and she goes to great length to try to protect the girl that she was told to protect by any means necessary. This was a fun outing for Blumhouse. I have a love-hate with their stuff. Sometimes their stuff is so good, and sometimes it's Fantasy Island. That's kind of where it's at. But Megan was on that so good side. I had a really fun time with this movie. It was a really fun time in the movie theater with a big crowd that showed up for this movie, and I'd like to see more of this killer robot doll in the future. At number 2, guys, we have the Hulu released movie Sick. Now, Sick is a horror movie that centers around the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's about a serial killer trying to kill people who are quarantining. And that's a cool concept that could have gone really bad, but I really liked how they tied this movie up. And that leaves number 1, guys. Number 1 movie for me in January of 2023 was Infinity Pool. Infinity Pool was a movie that was thought-provoking, it was a thriller, and yes, it had some weird elements to the movie, and some of the scenes went on a little too long. I'm not saying it's going to be movie of the year, but it is movie of January for me. I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed Alexander Skarsgård's performance, and I also enjoyed Mia Goth's performance. I think both of them were great as the leading roles of this movie, and all the surrounding characters. Like, this movie was layer on top of layer, with a couple twists toward the end that really worked for me personally. So Infinity Pool is my number 1 movie for January of 2023. And guys, guys, that's my ranked list of worst to best for January of 2023. Have you seen any of these movies? If you have, put them in the comment section, or if you've got a ranking of your own, well, let me know in the comment section down below as well. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that because I have a lot of content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
It's the first quarter of the big game. You want to toss up a Hail Mary. I'd like to be pimps from Oakland or cowboys from Arizona, but it's not Halloween. Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula.